Welcome to those of you who are joining us online. We've got some folks coming in right now. Welcome to those who are joining us live, and so good to have all of you with us. Today we are not doing On This Day because I have some distinguished guests, and I've got more than I've ever had before, and we've got some pretty important things that we want to talk about. Today we're going to talk about brain health and how it is, because we exercise all other parts of our body, right? We take walks, and a lot of people go to the gym and those kinds of things and lift weights, and we worry about our muscles, but we don't really exercise our brain all that much. So how can we do a checkup on our brains? Now, we're going to talk about some habits. Let me just kind of tell you where this came from, explain this. I explained this to my distinguished panel beforehand. I was reading an article a couple of months ago, and it was talking about what neurologists have to say are good habits to develop to keep our brains healthy. And I thought, you know what, that's such a great subject for us to be able to talk about. And you can hear what scientists have to say and what they say in the clinic. And then you get to talk with people who have actually lived it, which is a bigger thing to me. So kind of went in search of some people who seem to have brain health even as they advance in age. And here you go. Here they are. The finest that we have to offer right here. No, some great folks who are here with us. And so we're just going to talk about these 6 habits that the neurologist talked about and find out how what they have to say about that. And then hopefully we can all gain, because again, Life Lessons with Lane, I'm trying to learn how can I take care of my brain, and so we'll hopefully get some really good practical advice. Okay, so first, let's find out who we're talking to. So first we have Catherine Hitt. Now Catherine, I think you're our most senior member, at least up here you are, right? So yes. So you mind telling us how old you are?
94.
94. Say it proud. There you go.
I am.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And when right after I moved to Savannah to start here at the church, Catherine let me live in her house for a couple of weeks, and so I got to know her, very sweet lady, and so Catherine, what was it that you did? What did you do when you were growing up? What was your job?
My job. Well, I lived with my grandparents and my parents and aunts and uncles, 6 of them, aunts and uncles. And we lived on a creek, and I lived in that creek in the summer and got my exercise there.
Okay.
And we farmed.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Wow.
Had a dairy. Yes.
Wow.
And a church nearby, which we just about lived there.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
So, well, when you, as an adult, did you have a job where you stay at home mom, or did you work outside the home? What did you?
I stayed at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is a huge job.
Yes. Until I was about 30.
Uh-huh.
Then my husband taught me bookkeeping, and I worked for 30 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Had 4 kids.
And this is Beverly Wall. And Beverly, you're 93. Okay. So 94, 93. And now you did something that sounds very impressive to me. You were just showing us a picture. Where did you work?
For the FBI.
For the FBI. Okay. And how long were you there?
3 years.
3. Okay. All right. So did you get to learn all this top secret stuff?
What you see and what you hear when you leave it here.
Ah,
That was
okay.
their motto then. I have no idea what it is now.
All right. So in other words, what happens to the FBI stays in the FBI.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. And then we have Ann Purvis. Ann, you mind telling us how old you are?
83.
83. So
She's young.
yeah, that's right. And of course, all 3 of these ladies, they're here all the time. And so can I tell them what happened Monday? Just kind of give you a hard time.
Why not?
It was so funny. So I've had this set up with these folks for a couple of weeks now, for them to come, and Ann was supposed to come up here to the church to do something, and she forgot to come up here Monday to do some stuff, and so we were like, yeah, brain health. But anyway, So,
And you didn't kick me off.
and yeah, she tried to get off the panel, but I wouldn't let her do it. Now you were in the medical field, right?
Right.
Okay. And what did you do?
I was a nurse. I am a nurse.
Okay.
I'm a retired nurse.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in a small town, four sisters, no boys. Always wanted to be a nurse since I was a little girl.
Huh. Okay.
So when I got out of high school, I came to nursing school here in Savannah and stayed here ever since.
Wow.
Worked about 40 years at Memorial.
Goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
40 years. That's a long time. Very good. And then we get to not only is he the only man up here, he is the baby of this group. Paul Brunson. Paul, how old are you?
79.
See, just a youngin', right? Just a youngin'. So, and Paul, what did you do for?
Well, I was in the IT world all my career. That's in the computer world. And I ended up being a CIO for a packaging company.
Okay.
Yeah. And I started my career in Milledgeville, Georgia. Then I went to Charlotte, North Carolina for a while. And then came back to Savannah. And I was in Savannah since 72, and I retired in 2009.
Okay. Good.
So about 37 years.
Yeah. Goodness. All right. Well, I can tell you all these folks, if you're not familiar with our church or familiar with these folks, you could talk with anybody in our church, and all four of these folks would stand out as people who really you consider all that they've been through, and they really are sharp mentally. And so I'm talking about these 6 activities, but I guess my only concern in asking just the 4 of y'all, because we can't have a panel of 12 people, you just can't have a discussion like that. My only concern is that people would think that this is just for senior adults, and it's really not. The reason that I picked senior adults to be up here with me is because I think that most people who are watching, we would like for our minds to still be sharp like y'all's are when we get to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So that's why they're up here. So really, if you are watching this and you are in your 40s or even in your 20s and you're like, oh no, no, it is for all ages. So stick with us. All right, we're going to learn from some folks who have been there. Okay, now here's I guess two disclaimers. Number one, there is no silver bullet. There is no quick pill that you can take that all of a sudden will turn on your mind to be sharp. That just doesn't exist. But there are some things that you can do that will help contribute to that. I can look at these 6 things, and I know people who are described by these 6 things, and yet their minds, they're not where they would like to be mentally, and it's because this is not a foolproof plan. It's just, it helps increase our odds of staying sharp mentally. And then the other disclaimer that I always want to make when it comes to something like this is whatever changes you're going to make, whatever you're going to do, consult with a doctor over these things. Ann is out of the medical field here, but she's not saying this as one who has studied these things in particular. And so we don't want to be on the hook for that. Just talk with your doctors before you make some big, huge change in your routine. All right? Now, 6 things that will help keep our brains sharp, according to many neurologists. Number 1, first thing on the list is to make time for movement. In other words, some kind of an exercise, keeping moving. In fact, one of the neurologists said here, and I think several agreed with this neurologist, for me, the absolute number 1 habit is staying physically active. As physically active as you possibly can be. So, as I bring y'all up here, I'd like to hear from you guys. Is that something that has characterized y'all throughout the course of your life? Have y'all made it an intentional effort to stay physically active?
Absolutely.
So what are some things that y'all have done to help keep you physically active? And it could be things that you're doing right now, or it could be things that you did as you were growing older, as you were growing up? What were some things that you have done intentionally to stay active?
Well, I think as I've gotten older, walking is the big thing. And I have a partner, a friend, and one of my nurse friends that walks with me. So we kind of hold each other accountable
Yeah.
for being where we're supposed to be to walk. And we've done this for 20 years
Oh, wow.
together.
That's
So
good.
just to keep moving, get out of bed, get out of your chair, and get up, and move. It's important.
Yeah. Anybody else? What else have y'all done?
I walk in my neighborhood, it's got a good neighborhood to walk in, safe and.
So I was reading, getting ready for this. I don't remember if it was Monday or if it was last week, but I was reading something that talked about the advantage to trying to do your exercises outdoors.
Yeah.
Because we are made, like in our DNA, we are configured to connect with nature, and there's something beneficial about that. So that's good.
Well, I have a 2-year-old great-grandson, and he was just at my house for 3 days. And boy, does he keep you active. I mean, you're chasing him everywhere.
There you go. Keep your grandkids. That'll do it. There you go. So what were we going?
I agree with you, and I think just keep moving.
Yeah.
And I try to cook something special once a week for somebody. I take walks. I get good sleep. And I like Sudoku. And that keeps me doing a little something, my mind moving. I like game shows too.
Yeah.
So, and eating properly.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well, we're gonna get to a couple of those here in just a minute.
Watching Jeopardy.
Paul, what were you saying?
Well, I think moving is probably one of the most important things we can do. If you quit moving, you're going to get to the point that you can't move. And I think it's important. I try to get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week and try to exercise as much as I can. And I think if you do more strenuous type exercising, it's better for you, just for blood circulation and that kind of thing. So I think that's important. I like to get outside. I like to play golf. Coming up, I played sports in high school and all of that. And then I used to jog for a while, but I'm not quite up to that anymore.
That's a toll on the knees too.
Yeah, that's rough on your knees, but it's good for you. If you can do it, it's good for you. And walking is very important as well. Sometimes I can drag my wife out and we walk a little bit. And now she's going to the gym with me some, so
Oh, that's good.
too. Yeah.
Well, so there seems to be 2 types that seem to work. Again, this is just from reading, getting ready for this. There is the cardio part, which is the walking part, and then there is the resistance training, the strengthening of muscles, because that helps keep your bones strong and those kinds of things. And so, yeah, there's 2 different kinds that I think would be good. And I did read something that I thought was very interesting. If you're watching and you're looking for a way to kind of get into it, and I think it really is good for people who have not been active, but they know they need to be, and so they want to become more active. And I've seen it actually in 2 different articles now, and that is what they're calling exercise snacks. Have y'all heard of that? Exercise snacks. Anybody heard of that? So yeah, I snack as an exercise, but that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about you exercise, you look for some kind of an activity to do that's vigorous for you, whatever vigorous means for you. So that might be running a little bit. It might just be, I know that I've seen those little pedals that you can put on the floor in front of you while you're watching TV, and you can do that. Whatever's vigorous for you, you do that for less than 5 minutes. You do it for like 5-minute increments, and then you stop. And then you, after, 10 minutes, you do the same thing again for under 5 minutes. And you follow that pattern for about 30 minutes each day. And that is an exercise snack. It's not too much, but it'll stretch you a little bit, and then you try to go a little bit further, a little bit more after a week or so, and build up that way. So I just thought that was a really interesting way to kind of break into that. So, because I'm still the world's worst. I mean, I'm younger than y'all, but I'm not getting younger. That's for sure. But, you know, when I start thinking about stuff I'd like to do, I'll just jump in, you know. I'm like, I'm gonna run every day, and I'm gonna stay at the gym 3 hours every day, and all that kind of stuff. You try to do too much at one time, you'll burn out on it. So you just do bite-sized pieces and try to step into it that way. But so again, sounds like in the world of science and in the world of real life, maybe the most important thing we could do is to start or continue being physically active. A second thing, what, you had anything else?
No, I agree totally with that. I think that's important. Like I was saying a minute ago, I think once you quit moving, and you quit moving for a while, you're not going to be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I think that's important that you keep that up.
It's almost like use it or lose it, you know?
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the
I grew up in the country many years ago.
I'm sorry?
I grew up in the country, and we stayed active, real active.
I grew up in the country as well, and my father was a farmer and all, and we
Mine
were
was
very
too.
active on the farm.
Yeah, mine was a farmer also.
I remember as a teenager, I had a friend who, his dad was a judge, and they owned some land out there, and 100 acres in one place and 10 acres in another. And I'm telling you what, I'd go out and work for them in the summertime, and whew, that's a hard work, man.
You
Oh.
told me.
It is.
Anyway.
It was.
Okay, another a second thing that we can do, a second habit that we should really try to establish in our lives for brain health, and that is to challenge our minds. Whether it's, you know, it can be brain games, it could be crossword puzzles. Anybody still do crossword puzzles?
Crosswords.
Okay. What other kind of things like that do you do? I mean, do y'all do like word finds and you said Sudoku.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Sudoku.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
You know, with a number game is especially good for your brain.
And like
Number-
what?
Numbers, like the Sudoku, anything with
Oh, yeah,
numbers.
yeah. Uh-huh.
As well as words. I like word games. I like
Uh-huh.
trivia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't do your trivia today.
Yeah, love
But
trivia, yeah.
but yeah, I knew we wouldn't have time for that. Now, what did you just said? What did you just said something? What did you just say? See, my brain needs help here. What?
I grew up in the country.
No, you're talking about a brain activity that you do.
Did I do?
Yes, you just said something. What was it you said? Because it connected with me.
Oh, Jeopardy?
Okay, well, you do watch Jeopardy, and I remember
Yeah.
my grandmother. Oh, that's what it was. You mentioned dominoes.
Dominoes?
So do you still play dominoes now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my goodness! I remember playing my grandmother, and she would beat me all the time, made me mad.
Yeah.
But she would not help me, and that's one of the ways that she taught me and my siblings to add in our heads, because you know you got to have at the end, if you know how to play real dominoes, at the end of each strand you've got to add all those numbers up.
Oh, yeah.
And so she would make us add up. She'd be like, "No, I'm not gonna help you." And so we had to do that. But she was, I mean, in her 90s, she was still beating me in dominoes. It made me mad. I didn't like that. But what else? What other kind of things do y'all do that help challenge your minds?
Well, we play cards, sequence and hand and foot. I don't know if you guys know those games or not, but we like to play those. We play puzzles in the morning, like words or Wordle. Do y'all know
Oh
those?
yeah, Wordle. Yes, I
So
love Wordle.
we
Yeah.
get into that kind of stuff, and watching Jeopardy. I think that's good too. You know, so there's a lot of things you can do and should do
Uh-huh.
to exercise your brain.
And for the younger generation, all that stuff's on your phone now. You know.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Hey, even the older generation.
And what were you gonna say?
I don't know.
That's funny.
I worked
Yeah.
for the Chatham County Health Department for 25 years, and that was a challenge.
Patience, I'm sure.
Patience.
Yes.
Birth and death records.
Oh, okay, birth and death records. Got you.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, I know what I was going to say.
You got see.
Yeah, I
It
got
just
it.
takes a second.
Reading. That's important.
Wow.
Reading.
Yeah.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
But you have to be careful what you read. I mean, I think just reading good novels, good books, just reading,
Right.
that's good. Newspaper.
So,
Newspaper, yeah.
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, I know a lot of people now do book on tape. Do you think listening to books is as
No,
no?
I
You
think
don't
it's
so?
good. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think looking at the words, reading the words, pronouncing the words, learning new words.
Right. Oh yeah.
Sometimes, I have to stop and look up a word,
hmm
and that's good.
Right. Well, so were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. okay.
Listening
I
to
think-
her.
Okay.
I think one thing good is just staying up with the news. I mean, there's so many things going on, and just to stay current with the news and be able to talk about it, and share people, and understand their thoughts and listen to their thoughts. I think that's good exercise,
Yeah.
And of course, it's the way it is today is very interesting too.
Well, and I think there does have to be a balance with that because, I mean, it can take a toll on people's mental health because
It's true.
It does.
the only thing that sells anymore is negative. It's tragic.
That's what you see a
and
lot
so,
of.
Yeah, and so you just got to remember that there's more than just what you see on the. But it is good to be able to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think conversations are good. I think I don't want to get too far off on this. This will be another podcast. But we tend to, we're in a day and age now where if we can't agree right off the rip, we don't want to have a conversation and we don't even want to be friends anymore. And that's the sad part.
It is, very much.
We ought to be able to disagree and still have a conversation.
Yes.
We ought to be willing to have our minds challenged to hear what somebody else has to say. Well, I thought about because I've seen several articles now since I knew we were getting closer to this. Doing creative things like this, it slows down the brain. A new study talked about engaging in creative hobbies, and here are a few things that we haven't mentioned that I think are good because again we don't different people especially we'd like to think that this is going to get out to a lot of different people to engage their interests. And here are a few things that they said. Piano, I thought that was interesting, or any playing musical instruments. Cooking, which you do a good bit of. Do you ever challenge yourself to cook something you haven't cooked before?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Not lately, but right now I'm just doing like maybe one or two things a week.
Sure.
I'll make soup to put in the freezer for the coming cold weather.
Right. Yeah.
And I like to do salads and cakes.
Yeah.
And I give to neighbors and friends, and that's fun. And another pastime is crochet.
Okay. Creative.
I
That's
do
right.
I
Yeah,
do
in
a
fact,
lot of that.
yeah, it talked about needlepoint and
Yes.
that kind of thing. Yes, absolutely. My mom, she said if you can read, you can cook. And so sometimes I like getting out new recipes and things like that I've never done before and trying to do that. Talked about even, and I guess if we have younger folks watching, they'll be excited to know even in this newer study talking about creative hobbies, even video games, keeping your mind running, painting, and I thought this was very interesting. Learning a new language, that would be hard. So, I mean, go out and download Babbel or whatever that language app, and no, they're not paying us. So, take that for what it's worth. But now they can. I don't mind if they do, but they're not paying us. But anyway, several different things that you can do to keep your mind churning. I've thought about. In fact, I was thinking about it this morning. Just doing something, going a whole day, doing something with the opposite hand. Have you ever thought about that? Like brushing your teeth with your left hand rather than your right hand. You're
I've tried it
non-dominant.
occasionally, but not for all day.
Yeah. I mean, it would have, it makes you think. So, anyway.
I
Oh.
do that mixing a cake.
Yeah,
When this arm gives out, then this arm.
that's right.
It's over.
Hey, and that'll get that arm in shape and everything. It has a lot of positive effects.
You make a better cake.
Yeah.
The mixer
Oh, yeah.
makes.
Okay, number 3. So we've got make time for movement, physical activity. We've got challenging our minds. A third habit that neurologists say that we would need to get into to have our brain stay healthy is to prioritize proper nutrients eating right. So, I'm struggling, y'all. If I look at these 6 things, this is where I hurt the most. So tell me about your thoughts and your habits and your beliefs on proper nutrition.
That is absolutely the hardest one to do.
There's so much good stuff out there.
As a nurse, I know what to do. I don't always do it.
Yeah.
But it's a difficult thing to do when things taste so good.
Yes.
But you feel better when you eat proper in the proper amounts.
You're right,
Your
yes.
body feels better,
Mm-hmm.
and it's healthier if you do that. All right, Paul.
Any
All
other
I can
confessions?
say is
What do we
I
have?
agree, it's the right thing to do. Do I do it? Not very well. But, there's some dishes that we don't eat a lot of fried foods. We do eat fried food, so. And I like fish, and I think fish is a good meal for you is fish.
Sure.
And I like that, and seafood, of course, I love seafood. But I also like sweets and things.
Oh,
And
goodness.
so I do like vegetables, but I wish I did better.
The one hint I would give anybody is don't have it in your house.
That's the
Things
thing,
that
don't
you
have it.
shouldn't.
Yeah, but then I get mad at my wife. I'm like, where's the stuff? No, I don't.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I try. I just don't buy it
Yeah,
as a rule.
right. That's probably a good idea.
That's good.
So, Catherine, I imagine, like, I remember living in your house. You ate the right stuff, right?
Yes, I try to have my main meal in the middle of the day.
Okay.
And I
Good idea.
eat just a small amount at the evening.
Uh-huh.
Have a good breakfast, and I try to eat fruit as well.
Okay.
So from there, I eat a lot of good vegetable soup.
Uh-huh.
That's my main meal.
Okay, so tell me about supplements. Do y'all do that? Is that something that y'all do? Do y'all take vitamins and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff?
I
Do you?
Yes.
Do you take a lot of them or just?
No, just maybe 2 a day.
Okay. All right. What about y'all? Do y'all
I do not.
do not?
I do
Really?
Really, goodness gracious. I
You
do.
Okay.
I take B12, I take D3, krill oil, and a multivitamin.
So
That's about what I do.
do you have a reason that you chose those particular ones? I mean,
Well, a lot of, like krill oil and B12 is supposed to help with your mental abilities. But all of these are supposed to help with your bone strength. And so that's, I feel like that's things you have to do as you get older, is to what you're strengthening your bones and things like that, and your muscle strength. But also these things, they think helps your brain as well.
mhm.
And so anything like that, not anything like that, that's not true. But I try to watch out for things like that and I think they are good to do.
Well, this is by far my the most difficult one for me because I'm on the go a lot. I don't eat at the right times. I don't eat, I hear what you're saying, and I've heard people say that before too. Don't eat after 6 and those kinds of things. And those are, I just struggle with that. And do we have the right food in the house, or we got to go grocery shopping, or we're on the road and so we got to stop by McDonald's. I mean, that's I know it's not good. But I mean, the other night, a cookout milkshake was calling my name. I mean, I just had to go. So, anyway, but it sounds like we all got room to improve in that area to help our brain out with better nutrients and all that. But I do take a vitamin every day. I do that. So anyway, all right. Let's talk about number 4. Number 4 is sleep. Prioritizing proper sleep. How much sleep do you Okay, hold on. Y'all are retired. Y'all supposed to have more time on your hands, right? So let's go back to the days when you were when you were working, okay? Which, y'all are still working, that's a terrible way to phrase that, so please forgive me. When you had a 9 to 5 or whatever it was, what kind of sleep patterns did you have then in your middle adult years? Let's put it that way.
Well, I guess from 10 to 7 maybe.
Okay.
Go to bed at 10 and
Uh-huh.
have to get children up for school.
So 9 hours, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, and now I get 10.
Okay. Now, do you do that like on purpose? Do you say, I'm gonna go to bed at this time and wake up at this time, or do you just sleep until you sleep?
I sleep till I wake up.
Okay,
And I look at the clock and it's time to get up,
Okay.
maybe.
all right.
Or sometimes I roll over and wait another hour.
And that's the part, I mean, that's the beauty of what you do, and, I mean,
Yes.
of being retired and those kinds of things, and nobody in the house. But yeah, it is good to know that even when you had kids, you made time for good sleep.
I
That's
did, yes.
9 hours isn't anything to sneeze at,
No,
so,
maybe not, maybe 8, but
Sure.
sometimes, but at least 8.
okay.
I think when I was working, probably 6 to 8 hours was what I strived for,
Okay.
and that was adequate then.
You know,
And,
you know who Jay Leno is?
yes.
He used to do Tonight Show. They said he would get like 3 hours of sleep every night, and I don't know how he did that. I don't know. Of course, he's looking kind of rough nowadays, but yeah. So hearing you say 6, because that really is. What does the medical field say? I mean, is 8 hours? Is that pretty much the recommended overall?
Yeah, the kind of the average normal,
Uh huh.
7 to 8 for an adult,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh. So
Well, now I try to get to bed about 11:30 or so and get up around 7 o'clock. So 7.5 or so hours.
okay.
And when I was working, it was probably more like 6 to 6.5 hours.
Okay.
I'd go to bed. We had a lot of kids at home. We had 4 kids, and we had them at home and get through the night and get everything ready for the next day. Took a while. And so, and then I would set the clock for 6 or 6:15 and be up by then, so
Huh.
around 6 to 6.5 hours.
Right. Well, goodness. Okay. So it's a little bit under what they would normally say.
Yeah, but now I try to get 7 to 7.5 hours.
Mhm.
That's pretty good, I think.
But, okay. All right. Well, they've that's another thing that I've read a lot about, because my sleeping patterns are about as good as my eating patterns. It's just not very good. But they talk about all the recharging that takes place when your body is, when you're asleep and at rest, and the effects that it has on your mind and those kinds of things. So yeah, that's interesting. All right, number 5. And I did not expect this one. When I was reading this article, I expected pretty much all the other 5. Those are no surprise to me. But number 5, I thought was very interesting. They said that neurologists say that for brain health, that you should spend time with other people. And I read another article that talks about how spending time with other people leads to greater happiness and a longer life. So, tell me about your social life, not just now, but as you have progressed through your adult life. What things did you do to keep social, or are y'all pretty much just loners and you just want to be by yourself? What?
Oh, no, it's important to be with other people, talk to other people. My friend and I that walk together, we solve the world's problems when we're walking. But just talking with one another, it kind of releases a tension, just relieves your mind. It's good to talk to other people and to be around other people.
So what would you say to someone who's an introvert by nature?
Oh, that's tough.
Are any 3 of y'all introverts by nature?
I probably was when I was real young.
Uh-huh. So
I
if you could talk to your younger self then, what would you say about
Participate. Get out and participate in things, join in things. you know, when you're having group things, join in. Don't sit back and watch.
Mhm.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Just be a part of it.
Okay.
And now it doesn't matter if I do something silly, you know, it's okay.
Right.
It would embarrass me then, you know, but just get over it.
Yeah, I was about to say, you learn to,
Yeah.
you can get over it, and you can, everybody
That's
else can get
right.
over it. So, yes, I hear you. Paul, what were you gonna say? You,
No, I agree. I mean, I think being with people and socializing, I think that's very important. And fortunately, we have a good neighborhood, so we see people quite often. I play golf, so we get out and talk with people there. And then, of course, church. And I think church is very important because of everything that we do share when we're at church.
sure.
And but I think that's one of the main things that we ought to ensure that we do. My mother passed away from Alzheimer's. I had an aunt that passed away from Alzheimer's, and well, I had actually two aunts, and a very good friend. But my mother and my aunts, they had already lost their husbands, and they didn't have as much social activity as they had in the past. And I think that was really affected those ladies like that. But I truly believe that socializing is one of the most important things.
Right.
I agree with that. I did have a friend that walked with me, and she moved away, and I walked by myself. There's nobody wants to walk in my neighborhood except to walk a dog.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a dog. I just get out and walk by myself.
Yeah. Well, I tell you who, I wish Estella was still in here, because if you want to know anything that's going on in my neighborhood, you talk to Estella. Because she walks, I don't know about it every day, but she walks pretty regularly, and she talks to everybody that she comes across. And so if I need to know what's happening at the house a mile down the road, I just go to Estella. Estella, tell me what's going on here. She always knows, because she's a social creature. So,
Good for her.
so for the two of y'all are both widowed,
Yes.
and how did that change things as far as your social activity is concerned?
Well, it changed a lot, because, you know, we went together as a couple, and it's kind of,
You and Jimmy were always
it's
together.
emotional when you see other couples, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that sort of thing. So it's just something that with time you learn to accept it. And then you just get out and go and take part, and
Mhm.
it's okay. It's
Right.
okay to do that.
How long ago was it that Jimmy passed?
3 years.
3. Okay,
Yeah.
so fairly recent.
Yeah.
I like one thing that Ann told me one time. She said, if you don't want me to go somewhere, you better not ask me. I'm going.
That's good.
So, yeah, I'll remember that forever.
And how long have you been alone?
17 years.
17.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's a lonely time.
Mm-hmm.
So much to adjust to, and my husband was so smart. He just did everything, and I just went along with him. And
Yeah.
I knew he knew best,
Right.
and we just got along so well and worked together for over 30 years. And that, being in the same office with him, but it was
It's amazing y'all stayed married after that, right?
absolutely. But he taught me a lot about life, about keeping good records, which I still do. So
But now you still spend a lot of time with your family, right?
I do,
Yeah.
yes. Lots of family.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's good.
You want to know how many?
Go. Yeah, I do.
Okay, 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 21 great grandchildren.
21.
Yes.
How do you even remember all their names?
Yeah.
That's why you're in here.
Well,
Anyway.
yes, the brain
right.
helps
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And this morning I was looking for something that I had crocheted, and I looked everywhere, I thought. And finally, I said, I know one more place, And I went upstairs and I opened up the wardrobe and there was that little quilt I made
Huh.
for our new grandbaby coming in February.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Very nice. Well, we've just got one more, at least on here. Y'all might have something else too that we'd love to hear about. But the last thing, so just a reminder, the habits that they say we should develop in order for our brains to have brain health: exercise, challenging our minds, prioritizing proper nutrients, prioritizing sleep, spending time with other people, and then number 6, and that is to keep up with your checkups, going to the doctor, and those kinds of things. So, tell me your thoughts about going to the doctor. Yes, is that something that do y'all make that a priority in your life, or do you go just when you're feeling sick? How do you practice that? Or how have you? Not just right now, because as you're getting older, I guess those things become a little bit more pronounced, but even throughout your adult life, is that something that you prioritized?
Absolutely.
Did you? Well, I
Yes.
guess you're in the medical field. You probably saw it all. So,
You stay healthier. I know a lot of people don't like to go to doctors, and they don't go. And sometimes you're lucky and you don't have to. Sometimes you should. But I think it's just, for me, I think it helps keep me healthier longer.
right,
You know, you have to check up on your eyes and everything.
sure.
So, yeah, I think it's important.
Because a lot of times you don't know you got something wrong
That's right.
until they tell you got something wrong, which
That's right.
which almost sounds like a joke, but it's not. I mean, how many people they had a pain in their side and they went to the doctor and the pain in the side subsided, but then they found out they had cancer somewhere in their body. You know, that kind of thing has happened a lot. So,
I agree. Every 6 months.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're on track. then.
Eyes, yes, and my teeth, and my medical doctor every 6 months. Yes.
Well, you know, it's interesting, just as a side note, because it's not necessarily the brain, but that your dental health affects your heart health.
Absolutely.
Oh
Oh,
that
yes.
sounds so weird to me, but anyway. And do you go regular too?
I'm kind of like Miss Catherine. I have the 6-month appointments, especially with my regular medical doctor at GP, and then I do have my eyes checked once a year. And but when you get older, you start having these little ailments and little things going wrong. And yes, when I started having those things, like I had back problems. I had 3 back surgeries, and I mean, you almost have to go to the doctor. I mean, you feel like that, it's starting to affect the way you live, your quality of life. Now, when I was younger, I only went when I had a problem.
Right.
And that's the way I was for years.
And Gina made you go?
Well,
Stop whining, go to the doctor.
well, some, yes. But she was about the same way too. But then I got to the point that I would get an annual physical. And so that went on probably until I retired. And if something came up, I would go to the doctor. But when you reach retirement age, and when you get, in my book, when you get 70 or older, you start having more and more little issues. Some of them might not be so little, but you start having more issues. And you do need to get them addressed. And so that's what I try to do. I mean, I want to live my life. I don't want to be in the bed or be in a chair or
Sure.
not be very mobile like we talked about, things like that. So I think it's important. It's important.
Okay, so let's get into this. Just real quick. We don't have a whole lot longer. But I mentioned to y'all before we came on air, anyway, about medication. So there are, on one end of the pendulum, you got people who they don't really like taking medicine at all, not really for anything, and that would be me. I don't know. Anyway, medication, and then on the other end, you've got people who they take medicines for stuff they don't even know why they're taking medicine. The doctors just told them this is what you need, and so they take it. And so you've got two wide ranging philosophies when it comes to that. And then there's all that part in the middle. What are your thoughts and what is your experience when it comes to medications? And again, if you're watching, we are not trying to speak as doctors, okay? We are simply giving our own opinion. So this is something you got to settle. All right? Thoughts?
I do what the doctor tells me to do,
Okay.
so, and
Do you make sure that you're clear on why it is he's telling you that?
yes.
Do you at least get that
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I know, the names of the medications, and
Has there ever been any time where a doctor wanted to do something and you refused?
no.
Okay. All right.
One doctor found that I felt tired, and this doctor found out that I needed the B12 shots, and I started taking those, and they helped me. And then we just tapered off with those, and I take a B12 every day, and I'm good.
Right. That wasn't too long ago because I remember you
Yeah.
talking about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just don't go against your doctor when he says those B12 shots, they really help you.
Yeah.
So I'm good to go now. I know what to take.
Uh-huh. So, Paul, what about you?
Well,
We're gonna get to the nurse last.
I'll give you an example. Back when I was late 40s, I guess, about 40, 49 or so, I went to the doctor, had my annual physical. The cholesterol is high. You need to start taking this medicine. I said, okay. So I started taking medicine. But that particular medicine didn't make me feel very good. I didn't like taking it. I felt bad after I would take it. So it was full cholesterol, and I said, I ain't taking that anymore. So I quit with that. And not 6 months later, this is back when I would jog, and I would jog 5 miles a day, 5 miles 3 times a week. And so I started jogging, and I'd always been able to jog pretty good. It wouldn't tire me out that much. But I got where I couldn't go but about 2/3 of the way. And then I'd stop and walk a while, and that's it. What's going on here? Just getting old. That's all I was getting old. Sure enough, I have a heart attack. So
I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew you'd had a heart
I
attack.
was 50 years old when I had a heart attack
Holy cow.
on Christmas Eve. So I came home from the hospital on Christmas Day. But anyway, that kind of taught me a lesson to, maybe I should have paid better attention. Maybe I should have gone back and told him, how this medicine was making me feel. He'd have probably put me on a different one, which is actually what happened later on. But I do. When I go to the doctor now and he tells me I need something, he tells me why. And then I'll go and get a prescription to take that medicine. And the next 6 months, we check it again, see how it's doing. Is it getting better or worse or whatever? And then sometimes he'll take me off something because, this looks good, now you can back off on that. But I've been taking cholesterol medicine forever, since I was 50 years old, that is. Seems like forever. But anyway, yes, I do try to take the medications if the doctor says it's necessary.
But doesn't it feel like sometimes, again, I guess this all does relate to brain health, but doesn't it feel like sometimes, though, that doctors only are just pushing medication? They're not really trying to, if you'll change, they're not really trying to solve the problem. If you change your diet or if you exercise or whatever, they're not prescribing that. They're not saying lane your fat. They're saying you just keep doing what you're doing. Let me just push some pills on you. That's the feeling that I get sometimes, and I guess that's why I hesitate to do that. But I guess it does come down to knowing your doctor and listening to them and hearing why they want you to do what they want you to do.
I think that's important, is hearing why and then, let's check it again in 3 months or 6 months or whatever it might be.
That would be fair.
Yeah.
All right, nurse, thoughts?
Well, I think you need to be aware of what medicine you're taking. Everybody does. And you need to know why you're taking it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know what dosage it is. I think everybody should have a list of their medicine in their wallet or in their purse or something, you know, in case of an emergency. But you need to know why you're taking it and if there's any symptoms you need to watch for. But I found that my doctors have prescribed what I need, and I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't, then I would let them know. I know one time I had a dose of some medicine that was too much. So I cut it back and told them about it, and of course they agreed. So you just have to know your body and how it reacts. And if it's not normal, then you need to let them know. But you need to know what you're taking and why.
Sure. Well, so obviously that's going to, that'll factor in your health obviously is going to affect your overall physical health is going to affect your brain health, and it'll affect mood too, affect your mental health. Okay, so there's those 6 things, and I hope that those have been helpful for you. Again, let me just say them real quick for those of you who have stuck with us this long. Physical activity, challenging your mind, proper nutrition, proper sleep, spending time with other people, and keeping up with your checkups, your doctors, and those kinds of things. Now, just real quick, in whatever remaining time we have, and if we need to, we can always pare this down if we need to, but are there any other factors that you would say has been the case in your own life? Any other things that you've done or focused on that helped keep your brain healthy and sharp?
If you would have asked me to make a list of things like that, I think that's the list I would have made.
Okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But also I would add, it's important to have fun, to laugh.
Laughter.
I think that is really, enjoy life, enjoy people. My sisters and I, all in our 80s, went on a camping trip last year.
Look at you.
We just had a ball. We enjoyed it,
Yeah.
I think it's important that you laugh and have fun.
I need a pen. I got to write this down. I got to put this on my page. Okay. All right. That's good. That's a great one. Yes. Golly, that's good. Anything else? Any other things?
Well, I think that the 2 most important to me is moving, be mobile, don't stop that, and socializing. That to me is 2 of the most important.
Okay.
I
Any other?
think having family get-togethers, that's the main thing.
Oh.
In my family, we have a family reunion in November for one side of my family, like my mother and daddy's side, and then on my dad's side. And then my mother's side, we meet in May. And we have such a great time together. And you get to see members that new members, little ones coming in. And we go to Holiday Farms this November.
Well,
I don't know
fun.
whether you know about Holiday Farms in South Carolina, but we have a good time there.
Yeah.
Kids have a good time.
I mean, that'll incorporate a lot of the things we have here, but then also just the joy in your heart from being around people that you love.
Yes.
Yeah, it means a lot. Okay. Well, y'all, thank y'all. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your input and all that. And let's pray for Beverly. She's not feeling well today, and that's why she had to take off. So she tried to give it a go. She did the best she could. But anyway. All right. So thank y'all for your input. And we do. I know that I respect all of y'all and just where you are and how you're taking care of yourself. And I think anybody who knew that y'all were going to be here and are tuning in, they would certainly feel the same way. So thank y'all for your time. Let's pray, and then we'll go. God, I thank you for the wisdom that you've allowed me to be around here this afternoon. And Lord, I pray that that you continue to give them great health. We do pray for Beverly and the issues that she's facing right now. I pray that there will be passing and that she'll be fine by this evening. But Lord, I pray for the rest of us as well as we hear these things, that we would be challenged to make some changes in our lives that would help us to take care of the body that you've given to us, help us to take care of the mind that you have given to us, and it's a gift from you. So we certainly want to treat it well. Thank you for our time together, and just pray that we could honor you even in how we treat our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in with us next week on Life Lessons with Lane. We're going to be interviewing Dan Owen. He's got a great testimony, and so you don't want to miss that. 6 o'clock next Wednesday. All right, thank y'all.
Thank
y'all.
you.